Alright everybody, welcome back. So we're going to continue working on the intercooler setup. I think for the most part I'm just going to do some work and not do too much talking, and you guys are just going to see how it comes out. So I'm just going to get to work over here, and hopefully we can condense all this here, and we're going to go ahead and trim this guy down on this side a little bit and try to get this hole a little bit more aligned. I think if we just give it a little trim up on this side, we should be a little bit closer to where we're looking. This is kind of how I did it last time. I just held this in place, fished this guy through here, and then just kind of cranked on that here. Pretty hard because it kind of binds you up in a lot of scenarios, especially with one hand. I think I might put a knee here to help me. Alright, looks like I pretty much made it through. Not directly. I got a little chunk up top there I'd like to try to get, but we made it. We didn't even have to cut too much. A little jagged. That'll work though. So in reality, for me, the hardest part of this, this is what I'm using here. It's a BD Blue Demon triple play 1/8 inch, and it's just like welding rod, but it's meant for melting it in. It's like soldering or brazing, and it seems to work pretty good. It worked on the other piece that I had. So the hardest part for me is holding it and having it in a holding fixture, especially when you're going to do like a curve to a straight like this. Very difficult to get it held, and I'm hoping that when I'm heating up the other one it doesn't remelt this side, which I don't think that it will, as long as I take care not to overheat it. I gotta kind of take breaks and let it cool down a little in between, but once I get this thing all set up, should be able to finish it up on the bench or on the ground. But the hardest part is getting it first initially stitched together, and so I'm going to try that here on the ground. I think it might be easier to try it up high since I'm going to be so low. I'm going to try to set it up somewhere else, but for now I'm going to take it back apart, clean it with acetone, and hopefully the acetone cleans it up nice. And I'm going to clean the rod with acetone too, because I think that actually that's what you're supposed to do. Use the acetone to clean this. We should get a better finished result. Aluminum's all about how clean everything is, so hopefully this can help us with that. And I'll clean the part 2 right now, and I'll set it up hopefully somewhere a little bit nicer where it's not going to fall over and I can reach it easier, and then we can get a nice little bead around this thing. Alright guys, so this is going to be round 2. I actually have it clamped this time. I think it's clamped pretty well. I'm going to clean everything down with some acetone right now. I'm hoping everything stays where it's supposed to be. And I don't need my lines anymore because I keep having to remake my lines. I just moved that. I just gotta get this side tacked here. Hoping I don't burn the table too bad. I'm sure it probably will. If I could just get this whole side melted in, and I can go ahead and worry about the other side. But it shouldn't come apart on me like it has to. There we go. Nice. Now we're flowing. Keep it going here. I can work up a little bit. So I let it cool a little bit. I did the other side. And that's kind of my technique there, is I do let it cool a little bit, then do the other side. Now this is kind of cracked up here, so I'm going to try to go in and lay some stuff up here, and I'm hoping it doesn't melt the bottom, just because of the angle it's on and how big of a gap I have up here. So I'm going to try to just lay it in here and fill this gap in. Alright guys, so a little bit of time has passed and I kind of went ahead and finished up. So I showed you guys a little bit of what it looked like to do the melting or brazing or almost welding process that you do with the Blue Demon triple play, and honestly I'm in love with this stuff. It works so good. I am so happy I didn't buy a TIG welder, because this is really all I would use it for. I mean, yeah, I could use it to do stainless and like weld a cool manifold and stuff like that, which I could totally do at some point. But as far as this thing, welding aluminum or, you know, bonding it in a way that is going to work for me, I think this is totally going to work. I don't think it's going to leak. I will try to leak test it, but yeah, I'm not going to go anymore. I don't want to weaken the integrity of it by adding more pieces. I feel like the more pieces you add, the weaker the whole system's going to get. So I just kind of got it to here, and this can get it through there, and then I'm going to have to relocate this coolant jug like I said before. But otherwise, I think that's pretty solid on this side. It's going to be way nicer looking than it did before. It's not touching anything. It's away from these. It's got, you know, a good angle to it, and it goes right in. It's like with purpose, you know, there's not that many bends, and it's a nice long straight section right before the throttle body, which is preferable to all the snaky stuff I had going on before. It was kind of just a lot. So now I have room over here to do stuff like, you know, an intake box possibly, or a catch can or something like that. If I want to relocate, which part of me would like to relocate the catch can over here. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or if I'm going to make an intake box over here. I'm not sure on that, undecided as of right now, but I do need to make some sort of intake that goes from here up and over to here, so I'm going to try to figure out exactly what I want to do on that, and that's you know, yet to come. We got to see how we're going to run the intake pipe over here. But as far as the intercooler piping, this thing is done, so I'm pumped. I'm going to try to get some clamps on this and get it all finalized. I want to take off the pipe still and take the intercooler apart just so I can finish up all the bare metal I have. I just want to get a little bit of paint on all the bare metal, and then I'll be able to finalize it, put it all back in. But everything looks really good and everything looks like it's going to work, so I'm really stoked about this. I think this is a really clean looking setup. I think it looks way more professional than it did before. The pipe's welded, you know. I think it cleans up the bay a lot. So yeah, just the only thing left is to figure out the rest of the methanol injection, and I'm going to try to work on maybe I'll work on the crash bar setup too. I'm going to take the crash bar and see how much of it I can mount, and then do some bumper mock-ups and stuff like that. So I'll do that right now. So I got this side all done right here. The stock mounting was not very good. I ended up finding some other bolts that went through there, because the other ones had like a spacer and they would bottom out so it wouldn't squeeze this too much, but that had the effect of making it loose. It was fine when there were 4 mounting fixtures and it wasn't able to like wobble, but with just 2 it was kind of rocking back and forth. So I threw 2 nice bolts in it and now it's really stiff. So, you know, I just kind of hacked it up pretty good with the saw. So it's not, you know, perfect, but it looks fine. Still got to tighten these bolts underneath, I think, but yeah, it looks good. So I'm gonna go hack the other side up. Basically, I just kind of marked it out. I got the charger going here. Let me probably steal this battery. See if this thing will make a nice cut. I went just inside of, let's see, 1, 2, 3 in the middle, and I think I was just inside of this section here. Fun. Yep, let's see how it fits. Oh, almost fits. I'm gonna just take a little off of this edge here. Let's try that. Oh yeah, that'll work nicely. we should be able to put at least one tab in there to hold the bumper, one clip, and shouldn't have to worry about any clips on here. I don't think I had very many in there anyway, but I don't know, maybe we'll see how rigid it is. We'll try to figure something out. Maybe we can rig something off of here. I hope it doesn't push the bumper up and mess with the grill. So I think what I should do is maybe mess around with the bumper and see how everything fits. So I think I might do that now and just do one last little test fit to make sure that it fits good. And if you doubted it, here it is. The bumper fits. Look, it actually pushes up against it right here in the front, which is crazy. That's pretty cool. I didn't realize it was like up against it. I don't know if I could, it doesn't really need to go on top. It kind of just chills there, you know? So I think maybe it'll be okay, because it's not even on top of it. It's just like butting up against it. Maybe I gotta do a little trim out so it can sit in a little better, but everything lines up. That lines up, the body line lines up over here. It looks really good. In the front it looks good. It looks great down low. Definitely can tell it looks big. Can't really see how big it is from the front just because the bumper cut out, but you know, it definitely looks a lot cleaner than it did. It's a lot wider than the other one. Here was the other one for size, guys. Yeah, it's pretty similar in length, honestly. The other one's just a little bit bigger, but it is, this was only this big in here, but this other one takes up the whole bumper, but you pretty much never know. But I do like the design of this one much better. This one looks much cooler, much more legit than this cheap eBay stuff. This is eBay too, but this is actually EM USA, which is actually like a nice intercooler. So anyway, I'm pumped. Everything's fitting together really nicely. The piping looks really awesome. Bumper fits great. So yeah, I couldn't be happier, guys. This is really coming together. So just probably take it back apart and finalize all the piping. And yeah, I think we might try to do a little polish on here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to polish it since I took all the coating off. It's probably gonna look like crap forever, but at least it's welded, right? I don't know. Maybe I'll wrap it in something, or maybe I'll just leave it. I'm proud of the welds, I guess, that I did it without a welder. But not the greatest looking thing, but I think it looks better than it did. Less couplers, the better, in my opinion. We don't need all these silicone couplers. Anyway, yeah. Hell yeah, looks great. Looks really good. Now I gotta get the grill just to test fit that on there. I did get these horns here, these Hello horns. I know what you're thinking, you know, what is this, a Subaru? But don't worry, I'm not gonna have them visible. Although I do think that look is kind of cool on a Subaru. I don't like that look on this car, just because I like clean and I don't like these flashy horns behind the grill. So I'm gonna put them down here behind the intercooler. You'll probably never even see them, but you will have the nice hella tone, which, to be honest, I don't even know what it sounds like, but I thought it'd be cool to have a different sounding horn, and I knew that I was gonna have to relocate the horns with this new intercooler anyway, because I had them kind of up over here, and they're in the way, so I took them out, and now I'm gonna add these guys, and hopefully it sounds cool. I don't know, hopefully it's not cheesy, but you know, anything to honk honk, get people out of my way, you know, it always helps. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cut these connectors off here. These are the two horn connectors, chop those off, and I'm gonna just put some terminals on there and stick them on. Shouldn't be too hard. Hopefully they're decently watertight for a few years anyway, and we'll test it out. I'll let you know what these sound like, but I bent the brackets already to put them here. I'm just gonna run just self tappers into the thing. I'm not gonna go crazy with it. They're just horns, you know, they're not gonna be bouncing around or anything, hopefully. So yeah, that's that. I'm gonna just quickly install these horns so I can proceed with the final assembly of everything else. Say what you will, this is one of the biggest hack jobs I think I've done. I did the multiple self-tapper method. So my SD card's just about full, so I'm gonna try to wrap this up where I am. I probably have enough footage, but yeah, the horns are in. I'll go give you a quick little test beep, and you guys can hear them. They're wired in nicely. It wouldn't work for the longest time, and I could not figure out what it was. And it ended up being that I had the ground off disconnected on that side, and it was like pulling a ground through the running lights, so it was like making the running lights come on, and I was so confused. I was like, did I wire it wrong or something? How could I have done it wrong? It's so simple. And I had the ground off, so it was funny, but I fixed it. Now it works good. So I'll show you guys, and then I'm gonna go because I'm gonna run out soon. Sounds pretty good. Anyway, SD card's gonna be full, so peace out, guys. Thank you.